It was a little bizarre. I have an app that tells me when the like keeps me updated on soccer, and I kept saying USA goal. I was like, okay, who scored it? USA goal. Okay, who scored it?
Oh,
I go into the
no.
app, 3 own goal. I'm like, ooh, boy, it was a tough day. But knowing that, sometimes you have bad days, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're on any national team, that is a testament to your skill. So again, I hope whoever that was, they have a, they're able to not look at it in such a negative light, because I know that must suck. So for the upcoming moment, I mean, we don't really have anything next week. We won't get games until the middle of the month next month. That is March 18th versus the Portland Thorns at 7 o'clock, the beginning of the Challenge Cup and the Lumen Field opener for the Reign. But with that being said,
we have a new team on here.
So we are going to add the Seattle Seawolves to the group.
New hat, guys. New hat alert.
Hey, now. So it's kind of interesting how this has come along, because I know that I like to say that Circling Seattle Sports gets coverage of all the pro teams, right? All the teams in the city. And for the longest time, I had toyed with the idea of rugby. I had been around rugby. I've had friends who played in the sport. Hadn't done it. And the other week, the second preseason game against the Hartford Harpooners, I went out, and it's really interesting to see. We just talked about the Reign with soccer, to see the connections that soccer and football have with the game of rugby. They have a try, which is where you take the ball and you put it down. It's called a try zone, not an end zone. But that's where we get the word touchdown from, because they touch the ball down.
Connections.
So yes, adding the Seawolves are 2-time champions. They won the first 2 titles in the league in back-to-back in 2018, 2019. So you've got another winner in the city, which is never a bad thing.
No.
Speaking of winning, though, over the past week, the team played the San Diego Legion, who they beat in 2019 for the MLR championship. There's a rivalry there. So this is a rivalry game. On February 20th, winning that game 31-28 Seattle. It was a really close one throughout. Seattle was trailing early on in the first half, but then was able to make a defensive stop to keep San Diego away from any points, similar to what they did last week against the Utah Warriors, a last-minute stop to get the victory and move to 3-0. 2-0 was already the best start in franchise history. 3-0,
let's keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going. So yes, your Seawolves the last 2 seasons have been tough. Like I said, they won the first 2 Major League Rugby titles in 2018 and 2019. The last 2 years have been tough, but they're starting off really strong. The defense looks good. They've got some great veteran talent and some younger talent across the board.
Team effort, I see, because you didn't key
it's
player of the
tough
game
with
there.
rugby because Major League Rugby didn't technically get founded till 2016. They don't have a stats part of the website, so that's why I can't really do that. And again, this is a sport that I'm relatively new to, and we're kind of collecting as we go along. I know though that since I've been covering the Seawolves and I added the team, the community has been great. I mean, their response has been great. Like, they'll always like things and they'll comment on things, and they seem to be really engaged in their team, and that's great to see. So with that being said, we go over to the team news department. On the 15th, the team signed hooker Mike Brown through 2022. He will play on the team's front row. Has already played with Seattle. He started in the Hartford game, and he officially signed through the season on the 15th. On the 19th, the team signed lock Stefano Funaki through the 2022 season. He's a dynamic forward, making his Major League Rugby debut this year with Seattle. So the team is 3-0, second in the Western Conference, and their next matchup is the 26th this weekend on Saturday versus the Austin Gagronis at 5 o'clock. So that is at home. That is at Starfire. No, we talked about Starfire before. So if you've got time on Saturday, Starfire, 5 o'clock. It's a great atmosphere. The crowd really gets into it. That game against Utah that I mentioned was a Thursday at 7:30, and they were really into it.
No, that's awesome.
So if you've got time, support your rugby team, support your pro teams in Seattle. Certainly Seattle Sports, we're the show that gives all these pro teams.
This is exciting to add a rugby team too.
Yeah, and it's a sport. Like I said, it's really cool seeing the similarities to what the sports that we already know about, right? So there's some similarities there. But with that being said, I mean, we touched on it at the beginning of the episode. There's a lot going on, so it's
So
exciting though.
much.
It's exciting to know that you've got another winner. Up other side, you've got another winner. I mean, so what's that's if I didn't count the Seawolves, I mean, the Storm would have the most titles compared to everyone combined. But with the Seawolves, it kind of ruins things. But hey, more winners is good.
Yeah, especially when our Kraken don't seem like they're doing so good right now. So
No comment.
more positive notes here, which is good.
With that being said, as always, we will see you next Monday. That'll be the 28th. Hopefully by then we have some idea about when the lockout itself will actually be ended. Just to check in, we'll see if we've got any other new updates. Nope,
No.
2 hours ago. So to my knowledge, they're still in that meeting. So hopefully
Some resolution.
Yeah. I mean, the deadline is the day that we'll see you again. So with that being said, thank you again for tuning in. We're getting some fake sun. I don't know how long that'll be around. It's supposed to rain this week. So
I thought it was supposed to be very cold this week. So
could still be. So we will see you. Take care of yourself. Be well. Thank your directors. We have 2 people behind the cameras today, Matt and Salman. Salman's got his
guys.
5s on. He thinks he's really cool.
I know
really
it's
cool.
the Jordan crew over there for our directors.
I wore
today.
them last week, and then you guys. I didn't get the memo. What do you?
Nope,
Okay,
I'm wearing Tim's.
We're good.
We're good.
Okay, so the on air and then 2 different memos. We'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. Be well.